doing is to remember that you are the lender, because they're getting all of the money that they are using to operate your account from your Safety Complete Trust. I don't know if you can see my screen over here. Did you find it yet?
Yes. Basically, it says here, a security is an instrument that evidences the holder's ownership rights in a stock.
Okay. Okay, the ownership rights. It says a lender.
Yeah, a security is an instrument that evidences the holder's ownership right.
Okay. Now it's interesting. It said the holder.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And how do you become the holder in due course?
Right.
Yeah. And that is by doing a security agreement. Now, those,
That says a contract.
People in the recording. Thank you for.
If you want to read, I can read if you want.
Oh, that'll be great. Okay. Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about security agreement and the UCC1 and the importance of filing those documents. And I'm taking a little vacation from, the package that we were doing, but it's not really, because we're going to need these documents to finish that UCC contract trust package as well. So I was thinking over the week that I've been just home studying that this is really important to get done now, because you want to secure all of your assets. And so we're going to look at the importance of the UCC1 and the security agreement today. And I want to walk you through the process of doing that as much as possible, as I can talk without, and still feel well. So that's what I'm going to work on. So with that being said, does anybody have any questions?
No.
Okay, so I just want to say that I want to say I apologize, but how do I apologize for being sick? But I just wanted to be here today so you guys can see that I'm not giving up on the group. And if you guys, hang in there, we'll be back in full force, hopefully, next week, or I'll continue to, share with you what I can on Mondays, and then you can follow up by email if you have any questions. So the UCC1 financial statement, this is the sample form, and there is a couple of reasons why I wanted to do this one over. The first reason is because I saw right here the date. All right, it was revised 2011.
Right.
I should use the current year, which is 2023. Before I noticed that, I already had submitted it, and here's the date up here. This is what they send you afterwards.
Got it.
Your file number and everything after you do it in the portal. And we'll go back over this a little bit more. This is the portal that I'm in on in Washington State. We actually file with the Department of Licensure. That's where the UCC office is with the Department of Licensure. And so you want to go on your state, and you want to type in file Uniform Commercial Code or UCC1 financing statement, or file a UCC1, and it'll take you to, usually it's the Department of State, right? So you want to make sure you get the right website, and you want to make sure that you're filing in your born state. So I was born in Connecticut, so when I do mine, I got to go to Connecticut and file over there. And then later on, if I have any accounts in this state, in Washington, then I'll come back and repeat the process here. So we'll come back to that. Before we get into how to do it, I just want to show you some documentation. This is something I came across on my computer, And I was really trying to find a good background um, on the security agreement so I can explain to you guys what a security agreement is. I start out by answering the questions that I have myself, like what is a security agreement? What does it allow me to do? And those are the questions that I wanted to know. So I guess the first thing to do would be to look them up. And I had a document that I started. I don't know if I saved it, but I think I did. Down the group notes. But anyway, I had two definitions there. But we could just go ahead and look them up again. And then Empress Sonia will read what those are.
Sanjay.
I'm sorry, Empress Sanjay. I know how you feel. The other day you called me Vivian. I was like, oh!
I know, I was normally call you Empress, huh?
I know, Freedom. Empress Freedom or whatever. Nobody calls me Vivian too much.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I like that name. I don't have anything against it. Okay, so let's look. I'm not using that. I'm not using that. Oh, I'm not using that. Okay, so let's look up the definition of security agreement. Security agreement definition. Okay. Okay, so here it says, you want to read that, Empress?
Yes. Where's the security agreement definition?
Yes.
Okay. A security agreement is a document that provides a lender a security interest in a specified asset or property that is pledged as collateral.
Okay.
Can we look up what security is mean in the Black Law Dictionary, 4th edition?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So,
do you have an online copy or?
I don't want to lose where I'm at. I have a lot of things open. I would have to look for it.
Me too.
For a moment. So I can get to it. All right. So let's see. We have security.
So this one says a security agreement is a document that provides a lender a security interest. So we have to remember that we are the lenders. Yes. When you look at these definitions, they're talking about your bank, who are our debtors. So it is a document that provides us a security interest in our assets or property that is pledged as collateral. So the most important, yes, is you become the holder in due course. When you're holding the agreement, when you're holding the document that is causing someone to have to pay you, then you are the holder in due course. When they send you a bill, that bill, or what do they call it, a document, or the bill that you get in the mail, now they're transferring that asset to you. Now, what are you going to do with it? That bill to you. It is an asset to whoever has it if they know how to use it correctly, right? So, yeah. And the reason I'm saying that is because you can pay it, using a bill of exchange, and then do a 1040 a voucher to recoup those funds. And or you can do it when you file your taxes at the end of the year, or you don't have to wait. You can do your 1040, I want to say B, or when you have a trust and you're operating as a sovereign, you don't have to wait to a certain day. You can do it every quarter. Some people say you could do it once a month or whatever. So, So how do you enforce a security agreement? Okay, we're going to look at how to create, but while you're here, let's look at that part. And I'll allow you to read this section.
where it says what is security? Where do you know that?
I'm going to see, yeah, how much of it would it, I want to get to the section. Okay. No, we don't need a lawyer. All these pop-ups. Did they even get to the part?
I just saw the security. What is security? Where do you know what that is?
The question was, how do you enforce it?
Oh, well, the following enforcement options is up above. The following enforcement options will generally be available. The creditor can take possession of the collateral and sell it. After the creditor takes possession of the collateral and sells it, the creditor can sue the debtor for a deficiency judgment or...
Yeah, and then I clicked on it and that went to that page so we can look at them all. Okay, enforcing security interests. So they're going into what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how was it created? So I think they must authenticate the agreement to show that it's legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
They must describe the collateral. How are they enforced?
There you go. You want me to read that?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. A security interest is only enforceable after it's attached to the collateral. This occurs when the following steps are completed. There is value given for the security interest. Number 2, the debtor has rights in the property. A person cannot create a security interest if they do not have any ownership to the property. For example, you cannot put your mother's house up as collateral for your debt. You need to have some right to the property. There is evidence that the debtor intends to create a security interest, as noted above. This is usually evidenced by a written agreement between the parties. If the debtor defaults on the agreement, the creditor can take legal action to enforce their security interest. The following enforcement options will generally be available. The creditor can take possession of the collateral and sell it. In the mortgage scenario, if the homeowner defaults and continues to stop making payments, oftentimes the bank will place the property in foreclosure and try to sell it at an auction or share sale. After the creditor takes possession of the collateral and sells it, the creditor can sue the debtor for a deficiency judgment, or the creditor can ignore the security interest, seeks a judgment against the debtor for the amount owed under the agreement. Keep in mind that if the collateral is taken and sold, the creditor will have to return any surplus from the sale of the debtor. For example, if the outstanding debt is $100,000 and the property sells for $110,000, the debtor will be entitled to the $10,000 excess from the sale. Wow.
Good to know. So there are ways that we can enforce it. And again, like I said, we have to keep in mind that we're the creditor, right? And they're the debtor. So I don't anticipate that everything that we read here is going to apply to us, because we're operating as creditors and they're the debtors. But it's good to know how the principles of the security agreement work. And then when you read it, if you have an issue and you need to enforce the security agreement, then you will come here and you will read this as the creditor. And then you'll say to yourself, okay, how do I turn this around to work in my favor? And we'll talk a little bit more about that, because I want to focus more on, after we get this done, is how do we use it? What is it for? What does it mean? I put my name on this document, I submitted it, so what's the big deal about that? You know, a lot of times people will sell you documents, and, you know, even, I don't know, somebody emailed me today and asked me about the A for V, you know, and it didn't seem like a hard question to me, but it's, if you've never done these things before, they can be and feel overwhelming and confusing. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times I just encourage myself to keep reading something over and over again and breaking it down until I get a good understanding of everything that it's saying, word by word, line by line, and that's what I'm suggesting that everyone do. So another place you can go is right here under Cornell Law School. I did a lot of research and just typing in security and agreement on this website over the past week or so, and you can learn a lot by just there's so many by just typing in the word security
Mhm.
agreement, and you'll see how many 198,000 results.
Wow.
Yeah, so you'll be pretty busy for a while.
Yeah, because there's a lot of securities and interest in other people's property, and that I'm sure that lists paper, things that are tangible, property, mortgages, our numbers, birth certificates. It can get really expensive.
Yeah, well, the bonds, the birth certificate bonds,
Yeah.
especially. So when you go up here, you want to make sure. Now here's one: the Security Exchange Act. Make sure that you can find the one that's closely related to what it is that you're looking for. I
Mhm.
don't know if we ever read this one, but this would be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, to study. This would be a good one to study.
Okay.
Okay, so now that we've got a basic overview, let's look at a security agreement. Now, I know I sent you guys one last week, and let's go look over there. Hmm. I also found this document.
Lemon.
Okay, so security interest in property, and this is mastering the UCC. Okay, so this document is talking about the financing statement, the security agreement, and security interest, and it defines all of those things. I hear you moving around a bit. Are you able to read?
Yeah, of course. Oh, I'm sorry. Where do you want me to start?
Financing statement.
Okay. Financing statement. A document setting out a secured party's security interest in goods. A document designed to notify third parties, generally prospective buyers or lenders, that there may be an enforceable security interest in the property of the debtor. It is merely evidence of the creation of a security interest, and usually is not itself a security agreement. The financing statement is filed by the security holder with the Secretary of State or similar public body, and as much becomes public record. Hmm. See,
Yeah, and that's what you want. You want it to become a public record. Continue.
that person can do that. If they're sovereign, then they can also post it on any social media platform.
Like Scribe, a lot of people use it. Yeah.
Calamio. Okay.
It can save you some money, but and then you can use a link as the identifier. For instance, I showed you a record number, a filing number,
Mhm.
UCC earlier, so you can use a link um, like this one up here to that document and put it in your paperwork so that they can see it, that it's on the public record.
Ah. Okay. So let me insert. Okay. Link.
Yeah, and that's why people do it, because you can always put the link in your paperwork.
Question.
Yeah.
Now, with the UCC, with the security statement, um, how do we send it to the debtors? Do we have to send it to them individually and print it out, or is it just going to
If you
be
have
posted?
an email, you could attach it to the email, but at the same fashion, I would send it to the CFO as we send everything else. We send our liens to the CFOs. We send our 1099As to the CFOs. I would do the same thing. Now, the only requirement is that you file it with the records office with the city. You know, that's the only requirement. And we're doing stuff in a way that is not necessarily specific to Moorish Americans or to some other sovereign bodies that may just depend on the public record. Um, I don't know if the financing or record recording office is going to be any more valid than our documents that we file online. I don't think so. It's on the public record.
When you say when you said file with the recorder's record, you talking about deeds and records?
Yes.
Okay, deeds and records. Got it.
I always say the recorder's office because that's the only one that there is the deeds and records.
Okay.
Okay.
And that costs, I think, I'm sure, to file it, right? There is a fee.
Go ahead.
Oh, where you want me to start? I'm sorry. Where it says, so if the state or security agreement or?
Well, let's see if we should start. Okay, why don't we just start right here?
Okay. Redemption. Did you know the United States actually defines a fictitious entity spelled like your name with uppercase lettered as a corporation? The definition is in 15 USCA, United States Code, annotated Section 44. Corporation shall be deemed to include any company, trust, so-called a Massachusetts trust or association, incorporated or unincorporated, which is organized to carry on business for its own profit or that of its members. So, if the state has created this unincorporated corporation, then does it have authority over it? Yes, it does. And until you give them notice, otherwise they will always have authority over it. That is what a UCC1 financial statement does. It gives public notice that you, the secured party, have a claim against the debtor, the unincorporated corporation. Now, when you file this notice, you take this entity out of the state, out of the jurisdiction of a fictitious entity and into the private venue, your kingdom. And thus, the entity becomes foreign to the state. And now it becomes an unincorporated foreign corporation to the state. Sounds like an oxymoron. But then again, I am using their terminology.
And I'm clapping because that was so beautifully stated.
Yeah, it does.
I almost said read it again.
I'm eating lemons as we speak.
Like, oh any company. I read this about, I don't know that I read that part, but I was reading from down here. So I'm glad we went back up.
It's powerful because it shows that that's one of the reasons why they have been collecting interest and security off of everything that has their name and signature and numbers on it. It just feels like there's more to it, you know? There's a lot of work into getting out of their systems. Like
this is really, really good to know, because if you want to know why you do it, because they created this unincorporated corporation, which is you, and they have attached everything that you have worked hard for, your house, your car, your employment, your everything that you have, your car, everything, the driver's license. That's not an easy thing to get. I had to go back 3 times, I remember. They kept telling, I wanted to register a car once. I had to go back 3 times. I was about to cry because the lady was moving. Was selling me the car, so finally I had to go outside the 3rd time. Actually, she had moved. I sat in the car and I turned it over and I signed her name because I already saw her signature on the bill of sale. And then I waited about half an hour and then I went back in. They kept telling me I needed this, I needed that. It was just almost as bad as buying a house. That's dishonest, but what was I supposed to do, But, they own those things because we have to take them out. When we find out, we have to take them out of their ownership. And this is how we do it. By doing this is the best way. I like this way because you put everything on one document and it's simple and it's easy to do. It's even simpler and more easier to do than the Moorish American liens because you don't have to sit there and fill out all of these envelopes, and fill out a lot of different, well, I don't know. To me, it's just easier, because we're still got to mail them out. That's what I was just thinking, But, It's one sheet of paper, put it that way.
Mhm.
You know.
It's worth it.
Okay, so again, if the state has created this, then does it have authority over it? Absolutely yes. And until you give them notice, otherwise, they will also have authority over it. And you may as well say over you, because we do a UCC1 lien on ourselves first, right? Our so-called corporate person with all caps that's named on the birth certificate. And that is what is going to take the authority away from them over you. That's what the UCC statement does. It gives public notice so that you, the secured party, have a claim against the debtor. I was watching a video during the week. This guy, he was talking about the security agreement, and he was like talking about how the security agreement is us making a agreement with ourselves, right? And he was like, "What kind of nonsense is that?" And I just started laughing because when I first read it, I was thinking the same thing. That's a little weird, But when I thought about it, that's what they do. That's what the corporation is doing.
That's true.
They're doing it to us. They're saying, "Hey, this is a fake entity. All your name in all caps. You bought a house with, but we're going to hold you, the living being, responsible."
Right.
Okay. So if we can't do it, then they can't do it. But because they are doing it, then it makes it okay for us to do it.
Right.
You see, because these are all games. I know I had a book a long time ago that said the game of life and how to play it. This is all a game.
Chess game. Yeah.
And we have to learn the rules of the game, like Yusuf always says, the rules of the game.
Yes. Rules of the game.
And I like this part right here where the cursor is. You want to read that?
Where the cursor is,
Now.
I don't see where you're at on the cursor.
Okay, and the same.
Now when you file?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. Now when you file this notice, you take this entity out of the state, out of the jurisdiction of a fictitious entity, and into the private venue, your kingdom, and thus the entity becomes foreign to the state, and now it becomes an incorporated foreign corporation to the state. Sounds like an oxymoron, but then again, I am using their terminology.
That is so powerful.
It is.
You take this entity out of the state. Now, this is talking about the redemption. Okay, so let's look at how the financing statement works.
Mm-hmm. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, you want to read that financing statement?
Yeah, of course. A document setting out a secured party's security interest in goods. A document designed to notify third parties, generally prospective buyers or lenders, that there may be an enforceable security interest in the property of the debtor. It is merely evidence of the creation of a security interest, and usually is not itself a security agreement. The financing statement is filed by the security holder with the Secretary of State or similar public body, and as such becomes public record.
Okay. Now here they're saying you file it with the Secretary of State. Now, my point is this: you don't have to mail it to them because you're doing it on the website, and they're giving you a filing number right here. You see. So, like I said here, we use this. Most states use the Secretary of State. But I was really surprised too when I came and did some get my driver's license or whatever. I got to come on this website. When I came to get my business license, I had to come on this website. And last year I noticed that it had the Uniform Commercial Code section, and I was like, what is it doing there? Mm-hmm. Okay, so then you're going to come here and you're going to see that it has a whole UCC commercial section. I forgot I hope I made my point, but let me go back here. Oh yeah, before you go on, I just didn't finish reading this part here. Okay, when you file this notice, you take this entity out of the state, out of the jurisdiction of a fictitious entity and into the private venue, your kingdom, and thus the entity becomes foreign to the state, and now it becomes an unincorporated. Before it was a corporation, right? So that word, it was a corporation. You were a corporation, right? So when you file this document against your straw person name and lien your property, all of those things that you put become unincorporated, and they become foreign. They become foreign to what? To the state, to the United States, all of the above, right?
Right.
And that's how we end up being sovereign. Someone asked me not too long ago, how do you really know? How do you really know that you're sovereign? Because I've done these type of processes, and some of them will, restate that fact that you are foreign to the corporation. All right. So if we did for instance, our Moorish American Declaration and Proclamation, or if you just did a non-Moorish American Proclamation and Declaration or correction of status, then you've become foreign to the state. And you can even add an S here, meaning the United States. Okay, so the security agreement and the financing statement go together, all right? So let's look at this. We looked at this one. So now let's look at security agreement.
An agreement which creates or provides for security interest between the debtor and a secured party, UCC9-105 each. An agreement granting a creditor a security interest in personal property, which security interest is normally perfected either by the creditor taking possession of the collateral or filing financing statements in the proper public notice. Proper public records. Interesting.
Well, okay.
When I look at the word agreement, it's like a contract,
Yeah, exactly. That's a nicer word for a contract.
Agreement, yep, between the debtor and secured party. Wow.
And he's given the debtor is granting to the creditor that interest in secured party, and that's why we do all of those hold harmless agreements and everything else, because he's also holding you harmless if you make a mistake, If anything comes up, like I was thinking during the week, well, what happened if I was in the hospital and I was supposed to send out some documents? I'd be covered under that hold harmless agreement, right?
Yeah.
Etc. Because life happens,
Right.
If somebody in your family dies, you're not going to come home and do a security A for B. You're not going to be emotionally upset for at least a month or two. You might not be able to get back to your mountains of paperwork, right?
Right.
And so we're covered under those other type of forms that go with this, which we'll see a little bit. I don't know today, but later. But we've been going over those anyway in the group over the past couple of months. Okay, so security interest.
Okay. Interest in property obtained pursuant to security agreement. A form of interest in property which provides that the property may be sold on default in order to satisfy the obligation for which the security interest is given. Often lien is used as a synonym, although lien most commonly refers only to interest providing security that are created by operation of law, not through agreement of the debtor and creditor.
I'm sorry, my phone was ringing. Let me catch it. Although lien is used as a synonym, For the agreement, yeah.
Those agreements.
Yeah, it actually is a UCC1 lien. It doesn't say that in the title, but when you file a UCC1, you're filing a lien. And like I said, when you look at it, it's one page.
Yes.
They don't want you to sign it. It's private, and look at this, how simple it is. You know what I'm comparing it to, you know?
Oh.
Yeah. And so this is what I'm saying. It's a lot simpler now. This is where I had originally done this one. So I didn't know really what I was doing when I did this one. I just wanted to do it. So I did this language down here was Patrick Devine's, except then I thought, oh wait, I'm a more. I'm not only public for citizen, Article 4 public citizen. And then I put a Moorish American national. This thing was such a mess when I was thinking about it. I was like, what did you do?
Yeah, and then you're not supposed to put any numbers in there. I see an EIN number.
I did where?
It should. I saw something
with I don't have EIN number in here. I just put EIN.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, I see EIN right here. L. Oh no, it's not. I didn't even see EIN.
No, go up again. I could have sworn I see EIN number somewhere. Huh. I don't know why.
Yeah, I thought I saw it too for a minute. It's probably the EL and then something after that. But look at the simplicity of it compared to the liens that we've been doing.
Yeah, I right.
You see what I'm saying? And this is the primary. You can just do that one page.
Right.
This section is for the collateral, right?
Mhm.
This is.
Oh, there it is. See, it says EIN right there. I knew it. Number 4 all the way down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I found a lot of faults with this. Okay. By law, the Bailey is private, not-for-profit entity, may not own bonds. Well, what the heck does that mean to me? I was like, what does that? If I had to go to court with this document and they asked me, what does that mean? I wouldn't be able to tell you, right?
Right.
So therefore, I have to go back because I have to live according to my new mind, I would say, and not just hurry up and get stuff done, but really understand, really understand inside of me.
Mm-hmm.
Aha, and you have to have an aha moment, like Oprah said, you know. So this is this is why I'm doing it over.
Yeah.
I'm doing it over for all these reasons. When I just did it, I was just scared of it, pretty much, like. And I'm doing it, but I'm not sure about what I'm doing. But okay, that part sounds good. And I'm telling on myself because I know a lot of us have been there. I know all of us have come to something. I'm like, oh my God, I never did this before. And I have nobody to help me. What am I gonna do? Yeah. And then the one. Wait till you see how I did it now.
I can't wait to see it.
I don't know. Okay. I think if we finish this section right here, that'll be it for what we're going to read here.
Security interest or what security agreement must exist? That one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Security agreement must exist to file a UCC1 financial statement, but does this mean it must be in writing and attached to the UCC1? Possibly, but what if it is a verbal agreement? Since your strawman corporation cannot speak, how can it write or sign its name? Interesting. You can create one and attach it, but you probably don't need it. In fact, one can still do all of the administrative procedures without filing a UCC1 because you are the security party and creditor whether you file or not. Filing the UCC1 is actually more for your benefit than for anyone else because it makes the aesthetic, intangible subject more real to you and gives you confidence, and that gain alone is worth every bit of effort expended.
It says it makes this esoteric.
Magical.
That's interesting.
It is.
Words, yeah. Yeah. Esoteric means hidden or secret.
Yeah. Hide within.
And it's more for your benefit because even though, well, let's just say if you walk around your job, right, and you fine, and all the men keep on hitting on you, they don't know you're married because you don't wear a ring, right? But you're married, right? So if you had a ring on, they would look and hopefully leave you alone, right? But once you put that ring on, they can look at it and say, oh, okay, let me leave that person alone. You know, I don't know if that's helpful, but that's what came to my mind. But when I was thinking about it, it was really for you. Me wearing a ring, sometimes when I go out, it's just like, yeah, leave me alone. Don't bother me. I'm spoken for, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you do the UCC1 on paper, you don't have to say, I'm a secure party, I'm a secure party, I'm a secure party, I'm a secure party. You don't have to worry about if these companies that you send in all these documents to know if you've done your paperwork or no, et cetera, et cetera. We've done another study before that said it's necessary to file the secure party paperwork. Remember?
Mm-hmm. I remember.
Tim Turner, yeah. So it's basically what you know, and you own it, but it's really for you, and it gives you confidence, and that gain alone is worth every bit of the effort. I like to have my stuff on paper. I'm just, especially when you're dealing with these people.
Right. Anything can happen. Computer can shut down. It can happen.
This tutorial is saying that you should file a trade name. I haven't done that, but what we were thinking about doing is the LLC. When you file an LLC, then you can't be sued. So ideally, when you get this trade name certificate, I think it's pretty much doing the same thing that filing an LLC in Delaware would do. So you would go on Delaware or go on Google and type in Delaware LLC or a registered agent, and you can sign up for like $50, and you just use your birth certificate name for the business name. Okay. Or let's say I had on the other one, that I'm going to show you. This is the old one. That's the old one. Okay, so you can put, darn it, I know I have it open. Where is it? On my new one, after my counselor's straw man name, I put here, I put Sesti Kavi Trust, Randy Lewis Calhoun. So when I do mine, it'll say Vivian Gale, Seti Kavi Trust. Right?
So I'm confused. That would be for your LLC?
No, let me find the document. You can, when you file the LLC, you just want to put it in this name right here.
Okay, got it. That's why the organization name. Okay.
But then I was thinking about how I put in the second one here, Sesti Kavi Trust, because it's an organization. Mm-hmm. So when you're doing UCC1, you're either going to put a debtor's name, or down here a name, or you're going to put an organization. Mm-hmm. So because this straw man is a debtor and not a real person, you're going to put up here on the organization. When you're doing it online,
I have a question. So let's say if it's the tax auditor. So the tax auditor, I found, based on my experiences, when I did do the organization, it wouldn't go through. When I used.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, because I'm just looking at this page here now. You see where it says individual or organization. Okay, now you got to read what pops up, because when I got here, I was like, oh, which one do I choose, right? So individual means, that's secure party. This is debtor. Okay, so when you get to the debtor section, and over here to the creditor, I already did the debtor. Okay, so if I add another debtor, individual, read what it says. Mm-hmm. All I really don't want to add another one. When you okay, read that.
It says individual means a natural person. Ooh. This includes a sole proprietorship, which is meaning whether or not operating under a trade name. So I would not, I wouldn't want to do that for the debtor.
So you don't want to be responsible, right?
Exactly, no.
So now we're going to pick organization, and we're going to look up what that means.
Organization means an entity having a legal identity separate from its owner. A partnership is an organization. A sole proprietorship is not an organization, even if it does business under a trade name. So it would be under organization. That's okay.
Okay, so when you click organization, the information that you put down here changes.
Yes.
Okay, so now, like this is what I did on the new one. I put my consort's name here instead of KB Trust after that because that's the name of the asset, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for the mailing address, I found out that you should put 55 Water Street like I did here, right? Because that's the address where they send all the birth certificates. Can you see right here?
Yes. That's the, okay, so you're doing this for, organization for the straw man.
Yeah, and because I added two debtors, you want to add two debtors, you want to add, let me do this. Okay, I clicked on edit, right? That's my consort's name and the address. I mean, Sedeca Trust. Down here is our mailing address, city and state, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if you come to this one now, you can put, you see where you can say add a new debtor? You can update the debtor or you can add a new debtor, and which is what I'm going to do, show you in a minute.
So this is, okay, so what you're doing, this is for the straw man, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, God, I just didn't want to get confused.
It's in all capitals, right? So this is the debtor, and you're saying this is the debtor too, because this is the address where it's located. This is basically where he lives.
Oh, the birth, okay.
When it's not claimed after 18, they send all of the birth certificates here.
That's crazy.
Isn't it funny? It's Water Street.
Yeah, water. Yeah, water. Right.
Maritime.
Maritime law.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah. So that's another debtor now. So I don't have to add another debtor. So now, did I start adding another one?
Are you sending this with notes or no? Or, I mean, with how you normally send it out?
The video?
These notes, what you're doing.
I don't have any notes, so you just have to watch this one. Okay. Because that's what I was going to do. I was actually going to have them come on today and actually do it. But they don't understand the importance of it, or they just didn't believe that I was going to show up. But it's so important that I was going to force myself to, anyway, to let them see how easy it is to do and how important it is to do.
That's why I was having issues when I was trying to do my straw man, because I didn't use the Water Street. I didn't realize that, But do you have to put the, what is this? Cis Quevi Trust?
Sedeca V.
Sedeca V is French. But do you have to put that there? I mean, do I have to put it for me?
Well, yeah. What your birth certificate name, your born name.
Right. Okay.
These are the debtors, remember? Okay.
No, but I was just saying the trust. So I guess that's.
Yeah. So you want to do that. If you haven't done that before, I would do it over, because this is new information for me. That's another reason why I decided to do it over. So this is the debtor. That's the debtor's address, right? Mm-hmm. Let's just say the corporate address, and this is where I've seen several examples of people using this over the past week. Not just one person, not just one, example. I've seen several. And so I just decided that was a good idea, and I want to get this right, okay? Yeah. So again, now when you come down to the secure party, make sure I'm missing my debtor. Okay, I'm done. Okay, that's okay. So when you come down, you're going to add your secure party.
That would be My sovereign name.
Yeah, as you can see, the surname.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because Morris don't have middle names, our whole first name would be, what they would call. This was what they would call a middle name. So our whole first name would be anything outside of our surname.
Got it. Huh.
Mailing address here.
Well,
hmm
is that your born address?
I beg your pardon?
Your address below? Mailing address?
This is not my physical where I live address. But
Okay.
But
would it be okay? But that would be where you domicile. Where's his address? Or
if you don't have a mailbox,
yeah.
This is a private mailbox.
Okay. Yeah, I need to do mine because I did it the other way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, and the same thing up here, if the secure party was an organization, you would click there, and then of course that changes again, right? Now, if I wanted to, I can put this as my trust, or his trust, because he has a trust named the Randy Lewis Calhoun Spiritual Foundation, right? So if you want your secure party to be in your name of your trust, you can do that too. Because the trust is the one that's going to be operating, technically here. So it doesn't. This is what I was telling you earlier how I watched the video, and the person talking was saying, "What kind of nonsense is this?" And he said, "Well, I decided that I was going to use my trust as my secure party. So because I'm going to be operating from my trust, which makes complete sense to me. So what I decided is that I'm going to take this whole security agreement and the UCC1 lien and transfer it to my trust. Anyway, okay, and to his trust, okay. So now he's the secure party, and his okay, I'm going to say where to go. Okay, individual, L, not me, kingdom. Okay, we went all lowercase, right? You got to put all lowercase, not all lowercase, but you don't want to use all caps here. If you want to put an additional name, like just Mwinye L, you could, or some people might put their born name in lower cases. So that is an option, but it's not necessary. Let's see, now you've got the mailing address. Again, this is your sovereign address, so that automatically populate it.
Okay.
I will put it in lowercase. Okay, and then you'll put the city, Auburn, and the zip code. Now you can save the secure party. Okay, now it's asking you to attach a PDF, right? Now, this is where you would put the security agreement.
Right.
Yeah. So you choose a file, and you can see right there in the drop-down window that it tells you the name of my file is the security agreement right here. You see it pop up, so I'm not going to open that again. You know how to attach a file, right?
Yeah.
And then you upload the selected PDF. I'm not sure if I did that part. And then in the collateral section, it says, this section is for the collateral, so you don't have to put something here. Let's look here, right? I know I have a problem here because it keeps telling me that I have a field in here. It won't let me go. I was working on that earlier. See, it keeps telling me, I have no idea what that means. It keeps telling me that I have some special character. I don't know. I've looked at everything. I looked up Unicode. I looked up. And how do they expect me to know 8217 at position 2535, when they're not telling me where that is. You know? So the integer.
I think I know what it is. Go up for a minute, Empress. Get out of there. Go up. Okay, you see where it says number 1? Number 1. Yeah, maybe that thing there.
The parentheses?
Yep. I bet you if you take that out of there, and you see how you used to have things in parentheses, DTC, all that? No, don't put no dots or nothing.
Really?
No, I'm serious. Let's just see. Take it out, and then, yeah, don't put
I
no.
was doing the other ones. I did think of that. Well, I see one.
It has to be. It's a government thing, because they do that. Yeah, I bet that's what it is. I bet you. And you already have it saved, so if it doesn't take it, then you, like those numbers and spaces and stuff. Yeah.
What spaces?
No.
The parentheses?
Yeah, the parentheses. Just take the parentheses out. And see.
Yeah, otherwise I would have been done with this by now. But I decided to leave it up here so I could show it in class. Another thing that I added is when it says $200 billion here, I know some people say 100 million. Now people are doing a higher amount because the money is not worth the same, okay?
Exactly.
And then you want to put in pre-1964 silver coin value.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's not there, but it's there. See? Now, let me go back over. Okay, res is a term I used when I was studying trust. Okay, so res is anything that you have that's a bill, an account, anything that you own is called a res. So you take all of your bills as called res and you put them on a UCC1 lane like we're doing now, put it on the public record. You didn't notarize, which is what I did. I'll show you. And then you go and you put it in your trust by filing a transfer by, I almost said by death deed, but it's the same form.
So being administered by a descendant personal representative, is that what's the selection option collateral is?
Oh, yeah, I'm still saying it. Okay. Let me see if I got them all out. I still got 9. Let me see, 9. I think there's one more. I should just take them out all together. I don't know. Let me see if it goes now. Yeah, I don't know. I might just take all the numbers out later. So what I'm thinking is it doesn't, you can put it's held in trust, right? If all of this collateral is in your trust already. You could, like, say if I decided to make the trust right here, right? When I was saying the secured party, where did it go? Oh, the secured party right here. If I decided to make it my trust,
yes,
then I would come down here and I would say, and that means that I already have all this stuff in my trust, which I don't, but I will afterwards, you know. So I'm going to put that is being administered by a decedent's personal representative, which is my truth and our truth right now. A debtor is a transmitting utility. It's a non-UCC filing, and a Bailey Baylor would be alternate designee. Bailey, one who gives, one who's given to, basically.
Can I be a Bailey?
What do you mean?
I mean, it's for me though. If I'm doing my own, because you're doing it for your consort.
Well, I'm going to put the same thing for myself.
Okay, I just want to know.
Yeah, because I looked up the terms. Yeah, Patrick Devine uses that term a lot, so I looked it up. And one is I'll look it up again.
Mm-hmm. A person or party to whom goods are delivered for a purpose such as custody or repair without transfer of ownership.
Okay, a person whom goods are delivered. Okay.
For goods. Well, those are goods. Those are goods.
Yeah. Now let's look at Baylor.
One sounds feminine, another sounds masculine. Bailey, Baylor.
probably are.
One's giving and the other one's receiving.
It probably was on the same page.
Yep. A person or party that entrusts goods to a bailee. So one gives, one receives, and one takes.
That's what I said before, but now I'm not so sure. Is it okay? Bailor, bailee. The goods, a person to who the goods are delivered.
Yeah, one's given, one's taken. One's given the power to do it, and the other one's taken for the purpose of.
Okay. Entrust the goods to a bailee. Okay, so the bailor is giving to the bailee.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like a grantor to the trustee, something like that.
Exactly, right. Now, if you want to do a UCC1 search on the debtor's name, so you can add any more collateral to your security agreement or to your collateral section, you can pay extra $10 here.
Mm.
Now, you can choose none. I'm not going to do that.
Me either.
And any extra thing you might want to put, you put it here. And right here it says what?
Please do not submit anything containing social security numbers or other sensitive information. Anything with numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, hopefully, you can preview the record. I don't know if it'll go because of that section up there.
And how much is this to file?
Well, here is $25 plus $1 for each page of the security agreement, which is 20 pages, so that's another $20. So now, as soon as you do it, right, you're gonna preview the record. It's not letting me preview it, and I think it's not letting me preview it because of that section on top, even though it's not popping up again. See, it's not. Don't mess up all my information I had in there.
It's okay.
That's cool. That's cool. The good thing about it is that it pretty much pre-populates itself. Okay, so if I do organization, I'll come back here. So it could be trust, mailing address, all caps. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Once you do it once, it'll be there the next time too. You won't have to keep on doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Empress. Did somebody just join the call? I don't think so. Well, now I know people lost faith in the group, but at some point they should know I'm going to come back. If I don't, then I guess they think I was just lying. I hope not. But a lot of them don't know me that well. I know a few of the people were new,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe they found some other joy in learning, from other people, which is okay. Because, like I said, we talk a lot anyway on our own, and yeah, it's not something that I'm sure, I'm always questioning it.
Yeah.
Right, so I say the secure party, except for here, I did the same, all caps. Now, when I'm paying for stuff like this, I like to look at it like 3 or 4 times. Okay. This is one of those mailbox stores.
Mm.
And so we don't use P.O. boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We use the private mailboxes at those stores. Okay, so we could save that. Now everything's in lowercase. So I'd have to do the security. I don't know. I might try and type it in later. I'm going to see if I can take out.
Like a narrative without the anything with parentheses or numbers, because I think that does something. And then, too, isn't there like a cap on how much information goes into the collateral?
That's true. I know I have more words than what it said.
Yep, it says it right there, 2,500. There you go.
Yeah. And I did mine here. I think I might have it open. Let me see.
It also said if you wanted to add additional information. So.
Yeah. Okay. Here it is. And now you can see how many words you have down here. Right?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. That's not right. Right here.
Okay.
Oh, it's 497. I thought it was 2,000. That's a character.
Not bad.
Yeah. So it's 497 words. So it should be okay.
Yeah, but anything with parentheses and stuff like that, italics, that I don't know. It just does something.
I really don't need this number. I don't need the numbers. So I'll come back here later and clean it up and then try it again. After you get done.
Can I have this?
Huh?
Can I have a copy of that? The financial
For
statement.
Sure. For sure. I think I have it on my Word document now because yeah, okay.
I think I'm going to
update that now.
Start on it.
And all of these, I took out all the numbers after we looked at the account numbers and everything. Mm-hmm. Well, in the security agreement, you can add them, but I didn't anyway. As long as you got their names up there, and then make sure you use language like accounts receivable, accounts payable, accounts past, present, and future. You know what I mean? So that you're not having, even though these are only good for 5 years. All you have to do really is come back in 5 years and change anything that's different here, and don't make a big deal out of it. Just the big deal would be making sure you do it again in 5 years.
Right.
Yeah. So that's that collateral, and I'm going to send it with the video after.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so we went over the UCC1 lien, and we went over, we didn't look at the security agreement, but I sent that to them last week. Now, I want to know if I have the copy of that open. Okay, yeah, and this is what I was looking for this before. Okay, so this is how it looks. I suggest that you always fill these out first, because when you're doing, did I delete you?
No, I'm here.
Oh, you see the little X right there? I thought I deleted. Okay, so I always fill out my forms, even if I'm gonna do them online, because sometimes the online portals look different, and you're not sure. So when you have your form next to you, you can say, "Oh, okay, that's the organization's name, right?"
Right.
And if you have a question, is it an individual? No, it's you can come here and kind of place it where it's supposed to be.
Right. Makes sense.
Now, the benefit of doing this and mailing it in is that you can make those little changes, like United States of America. I saw that. I don't really understand why they do it that way, but I figured it would make it look more smart. So I did that too. I could see if they put United States of America and the A capitalized as well. So.
Right.
Yeah, maybe because they're saying, but all the states are sovereign. So
why do people prefer to mail it in as opposed to going online? Is it the cost effective, or is it still the same? Do you know?
I think it's cheaper. It's not free, supposedly. But if you're doing it as more, you can file it or register, like I said, on Scribe if you choose to. Yeah. Another thing you need to know about the form is if you put additional information in here. Mm-hmm. You're not going to see it unless they click here and then this bar pops up.
Got it.
Now, unless they're opening it in Adobe Acrobat DC, which is what I have here, this is going to get cut off. So, yeah, because I downloaded it and then I opened it in this program, which is MSN. Yeah, MSN. In this one, it will cut off the stuff in that area. It doesn't give you that box. Or maybe it's just because it's an old form. You see, that was the 2011 one, yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, whoever's getting it or looking at it on their website will be able to just click on that and see everything that's there.
Got it.
Yeah. So, do we have anything else to go over?
Let's see some notes here. We talked about the security interest, UCC lien, the Bailey, the Baylor. We talked about the importance of the LLC not being sued, being protected. We did some samples of the organization and straw man. Where defended. That's where the birth certificate is with the PTC. I think this is sufficient. I mean, it's a lot to absorb. I'm going to go right on in and study and look for myself.
Well, here's another thing I was thinking about. Like, this one says that you should file a trade name. So you can read that because I have another process that doesn't tell you to do that. But you can use the LLC, but during the week someone contacted me and said they wish that they hadn't done it because now they want them to pay taxes, on the LLC. But this LLC that we're going to make in our name is not actually going to be doing any business. You want to go to look up Delaware if you choose to do it this way, Delaware, and look up registered
agent.
Yeah. And so, see right here, you can get that for $29.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and they'll you could do it for $50. I saw one for $29, but it went away. People, there it is.
Maybe you can find a Groupon.
Here, okay. I forget the reason why people use Delaware, but I know that they have they're supposed to be the easiest. I looked up MT Bank, and a lot of these corporations are registered out of Delaware.
Huh. I'll do some research on that.
Yeah, and so you want to get a registered agent, okay, and then you can do
there it is, 29. Oh, it's only 29 a year.
Yeah, but Glenn gave me this idea. He said because if you're like we're doing the lien on the house, he said once you have your name in the LLC, and so if I put my consul's name here, you can't be sued, right?
Exactly. You put exactly. That makes sense.
But my consort was saying, well, doesn't, the lien, what else did we do that will keep us from being sued?
Bond.
Yeah, and I don't know, we were just talking about what the security agreement should protect us, hold harmless and indemnify, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that you can have too much security, right? Especially when you're talking about your domicile, right? So now if you come over here and you want to do this, you're going to go, I'll use my name. Sometimes I don't know if I should do Vivian Gale or Vivian Gale Bennett, which is my full name.
Oh.
Huh?
That's your straw name?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
first, when I was divorced.
Your straw name?
Huh?
You're going to put in your straw name?
Of course, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, because you're actually,
yeah, mine is in my photography, esoteric images.
Yeah, put it in your straw name.
Okay.
I wonder if you would put the Sedeca Trust. You could even do two if you wanted to do it. One in if I wanted to do I actually only my doctor's office bills me under this name.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to cost me, $29 a year for both of them,
That's not bad. And you can do 1099A or...
Now, if this is going to prevent me from a lawsuit, heck yeah, I'm going to do it, right? I'm going to do it, So, and then it's that easy. Create a password, and you submit your order.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So use your straw man's name. Make sure, because there is the separation, right, of public and private. And
Mhm.
they can't sue you in your private status unless you don't know what you're doing and you go to court. You know, everything is commerce, and all commerce is fiction.
Right.
So we're going to do LLC, not corporation, not anything else. And um, order
Go
more
back up,
than,
please. Empress, go back up.
huh?
LLP. Can you go back up? I'm taking pictures. I wanted to see what you did. It says
Oh,
LLP or LLC? Oh, LLC. Got it.
yeah.
Okay, I thought it said
This
LLC.
is actually called a limited liability corporation. That's what the LLC stands for.
Delaware registered agent. Okay.
Yeah. That's the name of this one, Delaware Corporate Headquarters.
Delaware registered agent. I'm looking at the URL.
Whether he wants to do it or not, I might just go ahead and do it for him because it's just $29. Cover yourself on all ends. Like, if there was a mistake in the lien, well, then I'm covered over here. If there was a mistake on the security agreement, then I'm covered over here.
Mhm.
You know, it's like just building four walls instead of one wall, or two walls, or three walls. Build four walls, right?
Right.
I'm gonna leave that open because I'm gonna tell him to do it because he's so, asking me all the time. Well, I don't want to lose the house. I don't want to either. You know,
Right.
so that's the way to cover your back. And because this is my point, the house is in his name alone, and it's straw man's name. We never changed it. You know, so we want to make sure that we have this, and that's for the sole purpose of the straw man. And the straw man holds the living being. Now, that's another thing that's really important is to go over what that security agreement is saying. It holds him harmless and indemnifies him for um, any mistake that he might make, or, you know,
Mhm.
like I was saying, if he was in the hospital or somebody died and you couldn't do something in time, whatever, you're covered by those agreements that you have there. But this is the one that I almost finished a couple of times, but he was like, well, I don't know, why we got to do it? But, for me, I was like, sign me up. Shoot. I'm doing my stuff first. I'm doing all his first.
Oh, you sweetheart.
What happens to me is done, and most of the bills are in his name. The ones that I have that were, not significant, I used to pay the light bill, but I did a lien on that one. I ain't got time for it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's it, I guess. And after that, I would just say you had a copy of the security agreement last week. Go over it, and you can even, I don't know if you know how to listen to these documents, which is something that I love. Okay. Let me go up to this PDF here. Mastering the UCC. All you got to do is sometimes if you have
Strawman
too many
corporations so
windows
that they
open.
can tell the difference, as if they didn't know. One of the things you can do is to apply for a trade name for your corporation. Once this is filed, you will start receiving promotions in the mail advertising credit card machines that you can use in your new business. You will not need them, but it indicates
Hmm.
that the corporate system now recognizes your strawman as a fictitious entity doing business for profit, a corporation.
So I like this because if I'm just reading, you know how your mind wanders?
Yes.
Yeah, but when you're listening to it, you can listen to documents in Word as well by,
I don't have Word. I have Mac. Does it apply to Mac? You know?
you just try it and go right to view
Mhm.
or review. Do you have Word?
No.
Oh, well then it says read mode where you can go to review.
Well, what's that called? That what you were? It's like a voice. What is it?
Read out loud.
Oh, read out loud. Okay, I'll just look it up.
Yeah, read
Okay.
mode. No, that's not it. It's review. One of these, read or review. Read out loud. Here it is. Read aloud. So you're going to read aloud.
Vessel described above as the debtor.
And then it'll
2.
just read it.
Washington State Driver License 3.
And
Social Security Administration Form SSA 3000. 6 to 99.
Times, you know?
Document for account.
And it usually has a little pop-up window. Okay, here it is. Right.
Account number include.
Where you can pause. That's why I like this one. You can go
this
back.
Is actual
you
and
can't
constructive.
Do that on the other one.
Above as the debtor, but not lip.
So there's no reason to not read these.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Makes sense.
I could listen and follow along. I could pause it and think about it. And just keep saying it over and over again until I fully get an understanding. And that's how we roll. Because we got to know, right, Empress?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Have to be done correctly. You know, there's all types of ways in doing it. You know, it's just what's best individual. So I'll try this as well. So the security agreement packet, that do we have to pay for that in terms of when we submit it or mail it in for that whole packet? I think it's like 20 pages or something.
Oh, that security agreement that we just submitted today on the UCC?
No, the one that it's a package.
Yeah.
Print out. It has the indemnity bonds.
Are you kidding? That's more than 20 pages. That by itself is 20 pages. If you go, wait, let me see.
What I have is 20 pages. I didn't even implement everything from the agreement.
Yeah. I call it
20 pages.
I call that one the UCC contract trust package because that's where we're aiming for with that one. But I wanted to stop and make sure that everybody, where is it? Yes. UCC.
I started that already.
Yeah, and that way I wanted to start. Okay, here it is. Okay, no, that's not it either. It's supposed to be right here. I got too many files. I need to do some cleaning up.
Search bar and type in what you're looking for, and then it should pop up.
What am I looking for?
Security agreement package. I think that's what it's called.
Okay, let me see. Oh, I think it's under documents. Now see, when you got so many, I gotta remember. This is how I originally got them. Okay. So it's the UCC contract trust, activation of Federal Reserve account. See, so this is where this whole package and all these forms are ultimately going to take us. Okay, so we have to have all these done before we can do this.
Okay.
All right.
You have more. I don't remember affidavit for judicial notice. Commercial. Let me see. I know.
Judicial notice. And see, the thing is that it's probably because some of the documents, it'll reference other documents that were not in the package. Which is why I said, okay, this is taking me longer, and I got to make sure that they know that because I was like, oh, man. And then I got to get a QSIP number. In order to get a QSIP number, I have to figure it out to get a QSIP number. That's not in here, you know. Yeah, and so I'm just like, well,
we'll get it.
Work. Huh?
We're almost there.
Yeah, we are. We are almost there because a lot of the stuff I've already done, and I see it in that package. And to do the UCC1 and the security agreement, like you said, if you've already done it, all you got to do is go on the UCC, the website I was on, Uniform Commercial Code, Department of State or Department of Licensure, and do that, what we just did today.
Yeah, it's upload. Yeah.
And all your assets are secure. Okay.
Oh, Janelle left the meeting. Who? Janelle? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anybody else come on the phone? Oh, it's just you and I, girl.
Yeah.
That's okay. So I'm gonna go send this out to everybody I mailed it, so they will know that I had the group. Now next week, whether they come or not, that's on them.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we got this. I mean, it's a process. I have a package. I started it. I started working on the bonds.
Yeah.
I already got the fiduciary. However, there's different samples of the fiduciary where people have put, what's her name on there? Yellen? I don't know about that. I don't know.
Yeah, Yellen is the current Secretary of Treasury.
I know, but is that what you're going to do? You're going to put that person down there as a fiduciary? F56 form?
On what form?
F56. The duties of the fiduciary. It's written there that.
Oh, yeah.
I have question marks.
I know. Me too. I've always been that way. But when you get to understand how this works, when you're doing the UCC contract trust, somebody at that office has to be responsible for handling your case. A fiduciary has to do what's in the best interest of the beneficiary. You can't be a fiduciary over an account that they're operating, right?
Be the fiduciary over my account.
You can, I guess, but we'll look at that again. Yeah. Because I do have a question. I did feel that way initially, but I'm like, okay. I don't know everything. I would like to think that.
That's why I have that F56. I keep looking at it like, oh my God.
I've always thought never make anybody else your fiduciary.
I know.
But what you can do, you can word it like this. You can, and I've thought about this. You can say, Janet Yellen,
for bills or something.
Is the fiduciary over this process only.
Yes, I think that's what I saw as a sample. Over on bills only, or what did it say for not bills but prepaid or set off debts or something like
that. And be specific about what she is the fiduciary over.
Yep.
In that account, which is what I was thinking too. So you don't want to make her your fiduciary to make that a blanket statement. Mm-hmm. Because that would be all encompassing.
Yeah, I kept looking at that. I'm like, I don't know.
If she's my fiduciary and she finds out I'm in the hospital, you know what I'm saying? She can call up the hospital and say, hey,
yeah. only for debts.
Yeah. It's for the matters. You could word it however you want. For the matters in this documentation. Over the process and whatever, it'll come to you when you start.
Debt over the debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not. I don't know if it's only over the debt, but they have to be. I don't know exactly what she has to do on a daily basis for us, but she'd have to, like, say if we sent in a bill of exchange, and we wanted to buy something and we wanted it to go through that office, then she has to okay the release of those funds.
Yes.
Because we want to be operating from the Treasury, or we want to be operating from our trust, or both. Yeah. Ideally, what I'm thinking is, because I don't fully trust the banks, is that I could move a certain amount locally, to the bank that I have our trust set up, and keep the majority of it there. But just make sure you have, a plan, how you want to operate when we get to that point, Got it. All right. I think that we've done a pretty good job.
Yeah.